All right, Shalom. I want to give all glory to the Heavenly Father through His only begotten Son, Yahweh Ba'Hashem, Yahweh Shai. Double honors to the elders of GMS. Peace, mercy, and grace to the election. This is from Fox News. Came out today, August 28, 2021. Illinois' mom says judge stripped custody of son until she gets busy with Vanessa. All right. Furlet says she does not want to get down with Vanessa due to previous adverse reactions to Vanessa's perfume. Let's go ahead and play this clip.
Welcome to the boutique for cosmetic dentistry
And of course, there's an ad.
My whole world.
You miss him.
I miss him more than anything.
Rebecca Furlet has been divorced for 7 years and shares custody of her 11-year-old son with her ex-husband, what had been a 50-50 split in parenting time. But on August 10th, in an unrelated child support hearing, Cook County Judge James Shapiro asked Furlet whether she'd been vaccinated. When she told the judge no because she's had bad reactions to vaccines in the past, Judge Shapiro stripped Furlet of all of her parenting time until she agrees to get vaccinated.
I think it's wrong. It had nothing to do with what we were talking about. And
You are not free. Your children are not yours. All right, this is all further proof that we are slaves. We are in bondage.
he was placing his views on me and taking my son away from me.
Furlet is now asking the appellate court to stay the judge's order, her attorney saying the judge has overstepped his authority.
You have to understand, the father did not even bring this issue before the court. So it's the judge on his own making this decision that you can't see your child until you're vaccinated.
We just wanted the mother to pay support.
The father's attorney, Jeffrey Leving, says while they were surprised by the order, he believes the judge is making the right call, given the seriousness of the pandemic.
And there are children that have died because of COVID. I think every child should be safe. And I agree that the mother should be vaccinated.
Leving believes the judge is breaking new ground that could play out in other custody cases as well. No word on when the appellate court will make its decision. At the Daily Center, Dane Placco, Fox 32 Chicago.
Do you see where this is going? Do you see what they're doing? In Israel, I want to say 2 weeks ago, there was a video that came out of police going into a residence and they were removing the child from the parents. I think because she tested green. All right, and I'm using my words carefully. She tested green for this thing. So if I'm not mistaken, that was the case. She tested green, and they ended up going and they extracted her children from from that family. It might have been a family. I can't remember the clip, but it's on BitChute and it's on Brighteon too, I believe. But that's where we at now. These type of measures that we see going on in France with them hiring bouncers to keep people that don't have the health pass from going in the grocery stores, those type of things that come in here. Australia, they're in serious lockdown mode. You can only come out the house for an hour a day. Okay, they want your children. Right? And children have been used historically for sacrifice. You know what I'm saying? These gods, these demons on the left-hand side, Molech especially is one. They require child sacrifice. All right, and these elites, they deal with these gods, and these gods do require sacrifice, and they want your children. All right, and in order to pull this extremely satanic agenda, they're gonna have to, their God, all right, eventually Satan, really Satan, at the end of the day, by way of different names, but it requires sacrifice. And these people are not going to stop, They stripped her parental rights over her refusal to get the jab. So if you refuse to get the jab, you can clearly see where this is going. Eventually, you're going to be labeled as a biohazard to the community, and they're going to justify putting your ass down. This is Revelation 13, verse 11. And I beheld another beast coming up out of the earth, and he had two horns like a lamb, and he spake as a dragon, where the Apostle John is witnessing. All right, is this beast coming up out the earth, two horns like a lamb. What is a lamb? Meek, humble, right? Innocent. Speak as a dragon, spake as a dragon. What is a dragon? It's known for what? Breathing and speaking fire. What is fire representative in scriptures? Affliction. The Lord said, I have chosen to refine thee through the furnace of affliction, through the fire of affliction. And we're witnessing this beast now because there's a lot of affliction that's about to come upon the whole world, man. That's why it says 2 Esdras 8:50, for many great miseries shall be done in the latter times. For them, because them that walked in the world, them that dwelleth in the world walked in great pride. A lot of you women take pride in your children, which that's a great thing. But at the end of the day, you taking pride in something that you don't even own. Do you not know that when you give birth in the United States, you have something called the birth certificate? This goes back to what they call maritime law. The law. Matter of fact, let's get it. The law. Maritime law, right? Also known as Admiralty law, is a body of laws, conventions, and treaties that govern private maritime business and other nautical matters. So it says such as shipping or offenses occurring on open water. And that's why you have the birth certificate, all right? When you go into that word birth, if I'm not mistaken, it deals with when a ship would arrive at sea. Let me look that up real quick. The birth, that's the reason why you have a birth certificate. And these terms eventually are what have us in captivity. It might be spelled different. Let's look at BEARTH. Define birth and shipping. All right, look, birth. See, you replace the I for an E though. Nautical. What is nautical? I think they got something to do with water too. Nautical, look, pertaining to ships, sailors, or navigation. From Latin, nauticus, pertaining to ships or sailors. From Greek, nautikos, seafaring, naval. Okay, so berth, sufficient distance for maneuvering a ship, keep a clear berth. Amount of distance. Oh, look, second definition. The place where a ship lies when at anchor or at a wharf was docked at her usual berth. And see, that's why they call it a birth certificate. See, the baby's in the water, right? And then it comes out, which is delivered. So here's the birth certificate saying, the baby was delivered. It arrived, Does a ship dock or berth? What is a berth on the boat? But yeah, see, and you get the birth certificate and, then you get your social security card, et cetera, et cetera. These are what you call adhesion contracts. Standard form contract, a contract drafted by a party, usually a business with stronger bargaining power, and signed by another party, usually one with weaker bargaining power, usually a consumer in need of goods and services, and we're all consumers. All right, that's what we all are. We're all consumers here in Babylon. All right, and the one with the stronger bargaining power, like it says, usually a business. That would be your state of Georgia, your state of Illinois. These are businesses. These are fictional, all right, corporations. Okay. And you're having your children within the jurisdictions of these businesses, and they contract with you, and your mother or your father unknowingly signs the baby away at birth to the state. You get a social security number, which is equivalent to a tax ID number, which is what? When you create a LLC, you get what? You get you a tax ID number, which is a 9-digit number. Same thing with a social security number. You have a 9-digit number. Okay, so through these adhesion contracts, we're slaves. You don't know what you're signing, what you're people, and especially in these days, people don't read no more. People really, literally, their reading skills are getting weaker as we speak. People don't read anything. People just sign anything. I see it all the time. When I'm handing a client paperwork, they just look for the signature spot. They ain't reading shit. They skim right through that shit and sign, you know? And that's why, you know, well, the book says, it's regarding to the Israelites, my people are perish for lack of knowledge. But that's people in general. This is Revelation 13, verse 15. Matter of fact, I'm just going to get this real quick, because we warned that these times were coming. We warned, beginning with the elder apostles, that the devil was going to show his horns, and he was going to come down and show who he really is, and we seeing it. This is Habakkuk 2. And 2, and the Lord answered me and said, write the vision and make it plain upon tables, that he may run that readeth it. You know, that's what the prophets did. They wrote down the visions of the Lord, and now we have it in the form of the Bible. All right, and what they did was, and what we're doing is, once we received understanding of these visions, we ran to go tell it, and we made it plain. We made it simple. We're breaking these things down in a way that, you know, the average person can get it. Verse 3, for the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come. It will not tarry. See, in the last days, the devil will be made manifest. Like, oh, okay, this is not, even though it's a spiritual thing, there's actually there's physical devils on this earth that are doing devilish, demonic shit. And part of it is, and some of it is what we're seeing, especially in situations like that, is that hey, if you don't do this, we're going to take your children. That's evil. But at the end of the day, they're not your children. That's why the scripture says, you know, and this was back then in Babylon, you know, during the time of the prophet Jeremiah, but that applies now here. Jeremiah 16:1, the word of the Lord came also unto me, saying, thou shalt not take thee a wife, neither shalt thou have sons or daughters in this place. You don't want to have children in this place. You know, this is not the time to be out here procreating, you know. Because Esau about to get down. So I'm going to go ahead and end that, man. Lord willing, this was edifying. Giving all praise to Yahweh Shem Yahushua.